There's a quick question that came in from chat. I'm going to try to find here the user that posted real quick. From Carne Asado, great username. How to be more discoverable as a small streamer or someone who just started. So when we think of this concept of being discovered, this is similar to the old Hollywood problem of like people would think, oh, I'd go to a cafe and I would sit there. Like, what was it? Mel's Diner was the famous one where they were just like, I'll sit there and an agent will find me. That's not an effective way to grow. Hoping to be discovered is not a way to grow. You have to put yourself out there. And you have to think of what is within my control as an individual to get myself out there. We mentioned earlier in the broadcast, networking, attending events, joining communities, conversating, letting people know about like shared interests. Discords are great ways to connect. And that's for anybody in like the starting phase, the affiliate phase, even partner phase, or even beyond as you continue to expand. You have to constantly be going outside of your personal circle to find individuals in order to grow. In terms of attracting in a viewer, let's say, for example, we're showcasing a shelf of content on Twitch, and let's say it's celebrating horror content during Halloween, and you're on that shelf. What would make a person, a viewer, click more into your show than somebody else? And you have to think then, okay, is my aesthetic appealing when it comes to the layout of my show? Is my title compelling? Is, you know, the overall presentation, the audio, everything of a high caliber for what people are wanting to find? Otherwise, just people won't click. And if you think of the competition factors on the internet, you only get one click out of a potential viewer. So why do they click onto you? Is something that you really have to think about as a broadcaster and establish for yourself and create that worth in yourself first of like, this is what I'm doing, in order to then market that forward to the audiences. And then when it comes to stickiness, I do agree with Hicks there. It's personality that's the stickiness. And actually, Freckled actually says here too, I get pre-stream anxiety because I'm shy. There's a tip I'll give you real quick for pre-stream anxiety. I prep everything I do before I do a live stream. Like for the Yakuza games, I pull up a full walkthrough of how many chapters are there in the Yakuza game. How many bosses am I going to encounter? I don't read into like the finer details of like the bit by bit or how to get through spaces, but I have the chapter breakdown. So then I can be like, okay, chapter 1 and 2 are going to be one show. Chapter 3 and 4 are going to be another show. I know I'm going to have a boss fight. I know I'm going to have this. So all of that stuff is pre-screened on my end as a broadcaster. And then the live magic is what actually happens. Do I play well? Do I get through the scene? Am I able to beat that boss? But at least I've set myself up to know exactly what I'm stepping into versus going in without a plan. So I recommend building that plan before you broadcast. There's a lot of broadcasters that broadcast for broadcast's sake, and oftentimes the result is not much at all. So something to think about. Do you do any of that pre-prep, Snackless, on your end?
Not in the way where I like dive into what I'm going to experience in the game, but I try to set my perspective, which is kind of like pre-prep, but more like pre-prep for me. I saw someone say, oh, they get nervous. I've been streaming for 10 years and I still get nervous. I was nervous to do this stream today. I think it's normal. It's normal to feel nervous when you put yourself out there. But feeling nervous doesn't mean that you shouldn't push yourself out, push yourself, try new things. When I go to events, I still feel nervous. Sometimes I feel excited, but I think I'm nervous. It's very normal. It's very natural, and it's okay. It's okay to be a bit unsure. And it's streaming, live streaming is very much on the fly, and so it's okay to like take a second. If something pops up in chat and you're not sure, or something happens in the game and you're not sure, that's okay. Nobody knows how to respond to something perfectly all of the time, and it's okay to take a moment, whether it's for you, for the game. No matter what you've got going on, you're just people, and we're people too. And most streamers are out there just doing their best every day. And that's all you can really do. If a broadcast doesn't go how you thought it would go, or you planned it all out and you're really excited and it's special, maybe it's a charity event or it's your stream anniversary and it didn't pan out, it's okay. That's
Mm-hmm.
part of life. It's okay to switch things up as you go. Give yourself grace as a creator. Don't expect perfection all the time, and know that even our veteran creators have hiccups. Even we have hiccups. It's part of living. Everyone experienced that. You're cooking something, baking something, you didn't quite follow the recipe. Like maybe you're at your best friend's house and they have all this company over and you're in charge of making the cookies and everything's going so good. You're making 5 different double batches of cookies. The kids are there, everyone's decorating, and then you forget to put sugar in one of the cookies because there's 5 batches of cookies and everyone's there. Yeah, that's like normal. It's normal. I can tell you.
I was like, this is like an oddly specific thing that happened. I feel like Snackless accidentally
It
just put in
happened.
baking soda into everything.
It's just how it goes. It's okay. Yeah, it's okay to give yourself grace and just work through things, work through tech issues, work through audio, whatever you got going on.
So obviously today's episode was all about like what to do before going live, or like right before you hit that go live. But we'll be doing future episodes on the channel for talking about, some of those best practices while you're live. Like what are some of the things you can do to engage your chat, to convert to subscriptions, to encourage followership, all of those things we will be talking about in a future episode, as well as some of the tools that you can use to enhance your broadcast, and what you do after your stream. How do you decompress? How do you reset? How do you plan forward for that next broadcast? We're going to dive into the near future.